What is up, guys? Welcome on into Tech Talk Vids. I am currently traveling. What's new? I know. But I wanted to get in with you guys on, you guys were asking me for a direct comparison between these two phones, and that being the Galaxy S24 Ultra and the OnePlus 12. And I can tell you this about both of these phones. They're both awesome. And what I mean by that is both of them do a lot of stuff great, all right? For me, camera, video recording, when I'm not using an actual camera, are important to me. And when I'm out and about, I'm not walking around with an A7 III in my friggin' pocket. You know what I'm saying? I'm just happy to see you. But no, I'm not walking around with an A7 III in my pocket. I'm walking around with one of these. And here's what I can tell you about the cameras on these phones. They're both awesome. Both have their strengths and weaknesses. For me, the Samsung seems to have the better stabilization in day-to-day shooting, all the way up to 8K. The OnePlus, you can clearly see it's a little jittery or jelly roll or whatever you want to call it here and there. I'm not nitpicking. I still think it's a great camera. It's just if I was going to go out that day and shoot something at the auction or something with this phone, I would make sure that I had like a gimbal or something of that nature to keep this thing steady. And at that point, oof, I don't know. I kind of like the output that comes from this even a little bit more than this. The 8K on this one though is undefeated. Like, period, end of story. I've shot videos on this channel with this phone in 8K, and it was butter. I mean, great focus, great everything, man. It was absolutely amazing. What I like about the OnePlus 12 over the S24 Ultra, for me, phone calls. Phone calls, and I know that people talk about the curved display and how it, you know, like, whatever. I don't really have an issue with the curved. Sometimes it's nice to have something slightly different, right? But for me, the biggest thing was, you know, the ability to run multiple networks. I could do the same thing on the S24 Ultra, but to be able to run like either two eSIMs or eSIM/physical SIM, and you can see I got the Verizon working up there with the ultra wideband, and working like a champ. I have no issues with this phone working on Verizon. It's funny, this phone on Verizon, and I saw this in a video, I don't know who talked about it. Maybe it was one of the guys from the UK. I don't remember his name, but anyways, he talked about having signal issues with his S24 Ultra. And for me, the only time I'm really having signal issues is when I'm using this phone on Verizon, which is really crazy. When I use it on T-Mobile, I get the ultra capacity icon, and I don't really have any issues, right? So I don't know if that's a thing, and if that's going to be a software update, and Samsung and/or Verizon can figure out how that works. I don't have that issue on the OnePlus 12, but I am having it with Verizon on the S24 Ultra. Not the equipment, because this is the second one. Because when that happened, I was like, let me just go swap it out real quick, because I know they got one in stock. Boom, went and got another one, did the swap, same issue. So only on Verizon though with this one. One of the other issues, what you may have just noticed when I showed it to you on a thing, is you see this one, the glare, or you can see how it like reflects, right? Not horrible. Look at the S24 Ultra. You can see it, but nowhere near. Look at how much less that light reflects in this camera, in that ring light I have in front of me here. Do you see the difference? The anti-glare, or whatever the hell they have on the screen, which I know people have been nuts about, saying, oh, it sucks, it makes the colors look great. I don't have any issues with the way the colors look on the S24 Ultra. Zero, none. What I do love is when I'm in the car, I hate when I have my phone sitting on my lap and the sun comes in and hits this damn screen, or hits any screen, and then it's like reflecting a light right in your face or your passenger's face or whatever. I don't have that problem with this phone. Also, when I'm out and I'm looking at stuff, I don't have a glare, or I'm not seeing a reflection immediately of something that's right here that's distracting me from looking at whatever the content is I'm looking at on this phone. I love that feature. I think that feature is one of the best features that Samsung can do. I know they have all the AI stuff now, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I may have used like the AI thing like one time, something in settings or whatever. I never used it. So people are like, oh, well, the OnePlus 12 sucks because it doesn't have any of those AI features. And you guys know my history with this company, with OnePlus. I don't give a shit about them, right? I'm just being honest and keeping it a buck in terms of what kind of phone these are. And yeah, this phone doesn't have any of those AI features, but it's not saying that they couldn't. They just don't have the partnership with Google to put it in like Samsung does. I don't miss them. Sorry. I mean, the photo editor thing is cool. I guess, I had the Pixel 8 Pro for so long. Using the Pixel 8 Pro, I've literally relegated it to the desk. It just went into the box. It's done. Because, like, between the processor being extremely underpowered, and again, I'm not the average user. I like to use my phone to shoot video with, edit, post stuff to TikTok, Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, etc., right? So I'm not the best use case in this situation for that, but I need something with the hardware and the horsepower to be able to handle it. This definitely does that. But so does this. In fact, when I've used LumaFusion, which is one of my favorite editing apps for mobile, the OnePlus 12 has consistently edited or exported a file of the same video, same thing of shooting of 4K 60 frames per second or 4K 30, and it's always finished a good 3 or 4 seconds before this one is. Now you gotta say, oh, it's only 3 or 4 seconds, TK. I get it, but this one wins. Here's the other big issue with the OnePlus 12 compared to this. This phone, I think the entry one is like $1,300. I think this one, when I bought it, I had trade-ins and all that other crap when I got it from Best Buy. But I think retail this phone was $1,500, $1,600, something like that, $1,689, something around that range. This phone, $700. $700 if you buy it from OnePlus and trade in any phone. Pick it up at Best Buy tomorrow for $800. Unlocked, works with every single carrier. You can't. It's when you're looking at it like this, it's apples to apples. You can't. Like it. Yeah, Samsung has the AI features. Yes, they have the S Pen. If I'm picking one that I have to carry every day, I'm most likely picking this one. But for an average consumer and somebody that's worried about saving money, this is the clear winner, like, of any phone this year, price-wise. This thing competes with food stamp iPhones. This thing is competing with shit that Motorola's putting out, and I'm talking about, like, what is it, the Edge 30, whatever the new Edge Plus phone is, whatever. This thing right here is by far and away one of the best phones I've used in a long time. Being able to use my WeChat, use my WhatsApp, everything, multitasking on this thing, great. One other thing I would nitpick on this is literally just software related. I'm just not a fan of the, when I pull down in the middle of a screen, I get this shit. I get the shelf, right? I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. I don't even use this shit. I get it. Maybe some people like it from OnePlus, so they love that Oppo skin. I'm just not a fan. I don't need stock Android. I'm not bitching that I need stock Android. I've made the icons about as round as I can make them in the settings. You can do different stuff, right? You can totally customize the phone. I'm not complaining on that. It's just little software touches that they could fine tune here or there makes this phone unbeatable. Samsung, the software continues to just evolve and get better. I love the quick settings for me. I just love the way this looks, right? I like the dark mode, and it's not even dark. It's kind of like gray, right? It's not the typical like completely heavy contrasted black in the settings. When you go to the settings now, it's kind of like gray, right? It's just not super black, which I like. I like this. I like this look. It's pleasing to the eyes, I guess is what you would say. The S Pen, still here. Love it. Awesome. Works. I miss some of the things where you were able to use these to do like photos and stuff. When you went back and you could, back in the day, you could literally click this. I think it was what, the Note 20 Ultra. You could click this to start and stop recording, and that's kind of gone. But it still does S Pen things. Like I said, I enjoy it. I am able, this is the first phone that I've been able to use my social media, like, and I mean Instagram, YouTube or whatever, or not even just YouTube, but Instagram, TikTok, whatever, where they're not just immediately compressing the video to some garbage looking crap. It's still not iPhone-esque, and unfortunately they build all these friggin' apps for the iPhone. But when I take it directly from the camera sensor itself, like when I take this shot directly from the phone and then put it up on Instagram or whatever as a different, it doesn't look bad. It looks side by side when I'm comparing it with the iPhone. I can finally be like, cool. Outside of the iMessage thing, which, you know, with Beeper, I know that they kind of went through their own thing, but you can have an iPhone chilling at the house and be signed in and still get your iMessages on an Android. Is it the best scenario to be able to do that? No. Is Apple ever going to buckle and provide iMessage for Android? No. But what I am hoping is that RCS continues to take off and more people go that way instead of just iMessage. I mean, I like iMessage for its encryption, its security. It's much better than Google, because Google will just send your shit to anybody that asks for it with a subpoena. It's a disaster with them. But there you have it. I wanted to just get into, I didn't want to be on here extra long. I didn't want to be on here an hour, but I wanted to get into basic features on why these phones are great and which one I think is better. For me, if it's a daily, everyday carry, the one that I have to use to operate my businesses, do all my stuff, it's going to be the Samsung. And it's only because when I travel like I am now, I can hit this cool little button that says Dex, and I can pull out my keyboard and mouse, and I can put all my workflow right on a smart TV, on a big giant 40-something inch or 50, 60, 70 inch TV, and get my work done there. So for me, I like that better than this. Now, I know people have said that OnePlus has a desktop mode. I've literally gone through, I mean, I know it has screencast. I know I can screencast it, but it's not the same thing, right? Now, I know they have multi-screen connect, what allows you to do different stuff. I've gone through those settings, and I appreciate that OnePlus / Oppo / whatever is trying in that department. It's just not there for me as somebody that would use this phone for work yet, right? It's getting there. It could be there. It's still a great phone. I mean, when I'm looking at price, and this is why I carry it, I've literally relegated the iPhone and the Pixel to the drawer, and I am literally currently daily driving both of these phones, the S24 Ultra and the OnePlus 12. You can't go wrong with either one. I'm not going to sit on the fence here. I already told you, for me, this is it. Because of Dex, because of the S Pen, because of Samsung Cloud. So whenever I sign, this is like the Apple experience. Whenever I sign up for one of these or buy one of these new Samsung phones, the fact that I can go directly to cloud, unless you buy a Verizon one, then you're fucked. But any other Samsung, you can go to Samsung Cloud and immediately restore where all your icons were, all of your apps, all of your text messages, all of that stuff instantly on the phone. You don't have to change anything. You don't have to set anything back up. I love that. Is OnePlus going to get there? I don't know. But it's still a daily driver for me. The Samsung thing, it's just the small refinements. If you have an S23 Ultra, I don't think you need to upgrade to the S24 Ultra. I mean, unless you just want the titanium rails and the flatter screen, right? If you're happy with your S23 Ultra, I'd probably just tell you to just rock that out for another year and see what comes next year, to be honest. I think some of those AI features we're seeing on the S24 Ultra are probably going to be offered in a software update to S23 Ultra, maybe even S22 Ultra users. So, but if you have an S22 Ultra, S21 Ultra, S20 Ultra, and you're thinking, hey, should I upgrade? Definitely. Hell yes. The camera on this thing, ridiculous. Battery life on this thing, not bad. I mean, for me, it's 11:23 at night. I got up at like 8 this morning. Where's the battery at? There you go. 27% right there is where I'm at. And I shot several videos, edited several videos for the car channel, uploaded a bunch of stuff to Rumble directly from this device today. No issues. And I'm still at 27%. The thing with the OnePlus is, no, this thing hasn't been on the charger all day, but I haven't really used it heavy. And I know people are going to be like, that's impossible. There's no way. If you're not using this phone and it's just in your pocket with the screen off, look at this. It's still at 100%. It's still at 100%. I haven't done anything with this phone. It hasn't been plugged in on the wall. This phone, where I use it as my secondary phone, basically it's my personal phone. So like when my friends are hitting me up or I'm on WhatsApp, I message on this phone. I'm messaging them, like personal stuff, and I'm doing work over here. Okay? So personal, work, and I can tell you, like, just using this as a personal phone, been great. I love the feel of the back. Everybody's shitting on the color. I love the green marble. I'm a sucker for green. I love green, man. This right here, the feel of this, man, very nice, man. The phone definitely does feel extremely premium. I like it. As a secondary phone, it is my daily driver. I know that if I'm out and this one does happen to die, I'm good, because the battery life on this, dumb. Like, dumb. Especially where I'm using this as my secondary phone. I could keep this thing off the charger for 2.5 to maybe 3 days. And then I just plug it into its charger that comes in the box that does, 100 watts, whatever it is, 80 watts of power. Boop, the VOOC charging plugs in. And literally 20, maybe 25 minutes, it's full at 100%. And I'm good for another 2 or 3 days. I can't beat that. I can't beat it. This is why this has become my number 2 and not my iPhone. So there you have it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Like I said, for me, the primary daily driver for me currently is the S24 Ultra. It's just an unbeatable phone. It is the first phone, the folds and stuff, obviously I said can compete with Apple because of that folding ability, right? Like the Z Fold 5, one of my favorite phones last year. But when it comes to cameras, software experience, all of that stuff that Apple is known for, this might be the first phone that literally can compete with Apple toe to toe. And I mean that like across the board. So it'll be interesting to see what Samsung does with this as it gets more updates and more features. And the phone's supposed to be good for 6 years, 7 years, right? Of soft OS updates. That's insane. I'm going to have this one for a while. I'm definitely going to have this one for a while. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you agree with my assessment, or you think I should have picked the OnePlus 12 as my daily driver? I mean, I daily drive them both. This is just the back. This is the personal secondary phone. This is the main phone. But anyways, yeah, I highly enjoy it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And yes, I did pick this over my iPhone 15 Pro Max. Sorry, Apple fans. I know you're going to be like, oh, he hates. I always have an iPhone. So I'm not hating on Apple. But with the recent issues with their Trojan attacks, which haven't come here to the US or Europe or Canada yet, but it's coming. I deleted all my banking apps, all my other stuff off my iPhone, and I'm just chilling right now. We're gonna see how that sorts out and how Apple responds to that. But if Samsung keeps doing this, bringing this to the table, I have no reason to buy another iPhone. Just saying.